So we're doing get the message. Get the message, we're talking about the associative and the commutative property. So when we look at the first two, we have 48 plus 96 equals 96 plus 48. Is that a true statement?
Yes.
And why?
Because you just flip 96 and 48.
96 and 48. Why does that work? What property do we say? The commutative.
Yeah.
Okay. And who have parents that don't work in Vallejo and commute somewhere else? Yeah, a whole bunch of you. So they live in Vallejo and they commute, say, to San Francisco, and then they are at work and they commute back to Vallejo. Any difference in the trip? No. It's just one way, the other way. Both the same. But what about when you have 48 minus 96? Is that equal to 96 minus 48?
No.
No. Why doesn't it work?
Because then it would be negative.
Because one of the answers, this one, would be negative. The commutative property only holds for addition and multiplication. It doesn't work, and they say holds when they mean work. It only works for addition and multiplication, which kind of makes sense. But when you do subtraction, like, what did this be? See, 96 minus 48 is 46?
Yeah.
48.
Yeah.
40, which one is it?
46.
8 and 8 is 16, so 48? 48 and 48 is 96. So this would be 48 positive, and this would be negative 48. So they're not equal. It's not a true statement, and that's what happens when it's not the commutative property. Okay? So commutative property only holds for addition and multiplication, not for division or subtraction. But let's look over here. Let's go down here where there's something different. Let's look at, which one was it? Down here we have something like, look at this. We have 27 plus parenthesis 29 plus 94. And is that equal to 27 plus 29 plus 94? What's the difference?
Nothing.
There is a difference.
Oh,
What's the difference?
The difference that
They switched the numbers.
27 used to be outside, and now in the second problem is inside the first two.
Parentheses. So we move the parentheses around. Let me come up with a slightly, is it the same?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Do you think it makes a difference? When do you think, and this is the associative property, because they associate by means of the parentheses. That means we go together. So let's look at kind of an easier problem, but it might be more obvious to you. And I'm going to use multiplication, okay? So 5 times 2 times 3 equals 5 times 2 times 3. Which one's easier to do? The one on the left or the one on the right?
The one on the right.
I have one. Somebody said the one on the right or the one on the left.
Both.
Do you like, which one could you do faster? This one or this one?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, because why? Because this is 10 times 3, and this is 5 times 6. Because we always do what's in the parentheses first because of order of operations, right?
Yeah.
And we all know 10s are easier to multiply than 5s. Okay? So, the associative property, which holds for addition and multiplication, allows us to kind of reorganize in such a way that might allow us to do problems that look really hard using mental math, if we can reorganize it. But what about if we had 2 minus 3 minus 1 is that equal to 3 minus 2 minus 1?
No.
Where am I? I made it too small. 2 minus 3 minus 1 is the same as 2 minus 3 minus 1.
No.
No, and that's commutative. What about if we do this? Is it equal?
No.
No. Okay? Is there a way that you could use the associative property with subtraction?
No.
Can you change subtraction to addition?
No.
If you have 2 minus 3, is that the same as 2 plus negative 3?
Yes.
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 Okay, so if this is the same, can you change subtraction to addition?
Yes.
So then, if you can change subtraction to addition, can you then, with addition and subtraction, can you then apply the associative and the commutative property where you didn't think you could before?
Yeah, I know.
Okay? If you had a problem like, okay, I have 2x minus 3 minus 5. Now I want to associate those 3 and 5. Could I do that
Yeah.
the way it is right now? It's subtraction.
No.
No.
So I'm going to have to change that to addition, and now I can associate them. We can only use associative property with addition or multiplication.